he wasn't left out.
I think I get what you're saying, but like, of all the things we talk about in here, that's the one that gets me to be like, huh, what? As in CCing Kirk so that...
So he knew it would be taken care of, or he felt like it would be taken care of. Or like you wouldn't just sweep it under the rug like you did with him when he showed up, as he perceived.
Sure.
Like you swept him under the rug when it came to planning different small groups.
So you brought in the... what Carl's saying is like, yeah, there was
just
total intention. Because he was like, if I go to his boss, he's definitely going to have to respond to me.
Mm.
Maybe. I mean, again, he's not here to represent himself. But, yeah, that probably was the purpose.
Yeah, I think, I have not said it yet, but I wanted to be like, in the future, I would appreciate if you gave me an opportunity to respond to this directly before feeling the need to include someone else, because I feel like that flavors my response and doesn't allow it to be authentic.
And then just write Matthew 18 on the bottom.
Any conflict, go to one-on-one directly.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that's the point, and I think that's a good point, is how you communicate, I think, is the issue. But yeah, when somebody else is brought into it, you're not only responding to this individual, but you're also responding to the person who's brought in.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that changes it. It changes the whole dynamic. That's why they call it a triangle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go back. When I asked you about the history of conflict and you had some very definite insights over the last 6 months. Have you shared those with Kirk?
Tried to, not on a regular basis. And that's probably because I feel like, given how they were responded to originally, I sense a pattern of success with it. But I told him about how I perceive tension. We talked about the tension with Joanna. I've not followed up to see if he did what he said he would do. And that's where I wrestle with what my role is. Is it my role to question Kirk one-on-one with stuff like that? I know it's not to question him in front of people, or is it to demonstrate somehow that I trust that he's done something? Or is there some kind of accountability piece that I can take up already with him?
What relationship do you want?
A functional one?
You just want it defined?
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. Every time I say to define it, he defines my place. I don't need that defined. I need what is between us defined better. And that he is not comfortable with that. He does not articulate it well. He seems uncomfortable when asked to articulate those kind of things. And I don't want to push him more than I don't want to make the guy uncomfortable all the time.
What would happen if you named the relationship that you wanted with him and then just started working towards that without asking
if I
what
print
he
out
wanted?
the profile that they looked at when they interviewed
No,
me?
I mean maybe I'm misunderstanding you, but are you struggling because based on the things that you've shared with us before, it sounds like you and your previous pastor functioned on the level of we are clergy colleagues, much like the way that the four of us function here. Well, I mean, there's kind of dynamic with you, but the three of us function
in a good way.
Well, you're our, you're our supervisor.
Okay.
We know
Tell everybody we're chapel.
But much in the way that we would be able to have conversation here, it sounds like that's what you had with your previous.
Yes, I don't necessarily have that with Kirk.
And would you want that with Kirk?
In a it would make my life easier kind of way, yes.
Uh-huh. And so would you, if that's what you want, what's stopping you from working towards that? Is it what you perceive Kirk, you're not working towards it because you perceive Kirk doesn't want that, or you're not, what's stopping you from making that happen?
Some perception of Kirk being told quite often that Kirk doesn't get close to people.
Does Kirk say that, or do other people say that to you?
Pretty much everyone else who's ventured to say, anybody who I would expect to voice something like that has said that to me. And I've asked a couple people, like, just out of curiosity, does Kirk have things going on that I should be aware of? I've asked Kirk how he's doing, and then, like, when he says fine, I'll be like, are you really doing fine? Like, how are things going on with Stephanie, who's his wife, just out of curiosity? And he does not open up those doors. It is weird. Again, I'm fine with it. I don't want to fix that. But what I keep telling the other people on staff is I just want to know how to best function in our role together.
So you kind of attempted to be
Yes.
his friend. It hasn't panned out. So now you're left at the point, okay, this is the relationship. So how do I function?
And when I asked
to
in my
make-
staff
Gotcha.
review, what am I doing well? What can I do differently? How can we work well together? He was just like, you're doing fine.
Cool. Okay.
And it's one of those,
Take that.
right?
Put it on my refrigerator.
With a sticker.
I'm doing
F for
fine.
5.
Maybe we
We could
stop
talk
it
about
about supervision.
Yeah.
Something
Sorry.
like that.
No, it's okay.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Sure, I'll go. And I think I kind of have worked this out in my mind. I was listening to you, I swear, but
I believe you.
anyways, okay, so transition's coming up. Yay! Very exciting. However, as excited as I am, there are, of course, emotions that go into things. And the only thing I'm struggling with right now is, not the only thing, but one of the things I'm struggling with is, so there are going to be changes made, totally fine, to the stuff that I've done. In my head, I say that's totally fine, and I can say, oh, okay, that's fine. But, and it is okay, because Angela's allowed to have her ministry with the children's ministry. That's great. What I'm struggling with is Angela, I haven't made it clear to her, I guess, that I would like to know, like, what's going on with the children's ministry, and I'm just kind of finding out everything secondhand, which is what I was going to talk to you guys about. So I've just decided that I'm just going to have a conversation with her and ask her, hey, what are you planning to do with the children's ministry? So instead of hearing things secondhand, like I have been hearing them and getting frustrated, not knowing, I just know. That's all. That's all I wanted to talk about was, how do I do that? And you just have the conversation. So. Thanks, guys.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. I'm just going to ask her, hey, what are your plans for the children's ministry in January? Hey, what are you doing with the craft closet right now? Why are you changing all this stuff? Just, and not because I honestly, at the end of the day, it's fine whatever she does. I just want to know because I'm curious. Not because I can change it or anything. But I'm just
So it's
gonna,
just curiosity?
I think it's curiosity, and it's curiosity on one level, but it's also curiosity on, man, is everything I have done going to be undone? And I think deep down, I'm afraid that when the transition happens, I'm going to be like thinking, oh man, she's changing all these things, and it's a reflection on me, which in my non-emotional state, I can say, no, it's not. It's a person taking over a ministry, making their mark on the ministry, doing what they want. But in my emotional state, I'm like, I was a horrible children's minister, and she's going to come in, and everybody's going to know, and they're going to be like, why did they hire that girl in the first place? So I think my curiosity is like, I just need to know so I can tell my emotional side, like, you're fine, chill out. So my rational side can... Anyways, Carl, you look like you want to say something.
I mean, it's just every time you say it's great, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
About Angela taking over that ministry. And I believe you when you say it's okay if the ministry looks different.
Yeah.
I still don't feel like you're really at peace with how the ministry
I'm not at peace at how it went
went
down.
in the transition.
Yeah. I think...
And I wonder if that has anything to do
Yeah.
with your curiosity or your questions about what Angela's doing, and if your emotional side's really worried about being inadequate, or your emotional side's really just ticked off that Angela took over your job without really asking and sort of connived to get it.
Wasn't one of your growing areas something about risking feedback?
You're doing
Yeah.
a good job.
I think you're doing
You're
well.
doing a good job. Yeah, I think part of me is... I know at this point, the water is so much under the bridge, I couldn't. Damn it, Carl. I couldn't bring that up, what she did, and the crappy way she went about doing it. Like, it's done, like, to bring it up would just be to, like, poke open a store for me. Like, it's not a store for her. It's not an area of contention for her. It's just for me. And so I want to keep saying, like, it's great, it's fine, so that will just scab over and be done. Like, I don't want to deal with it anymore, even though it's obviously still there. And it is fine, like, I don't know, it's just hard because I know what I'm headed into is something that I'm gifted at and I'm skilled at, and I was good at children's ministry too, but I think there is, obviously, there's still a frustration and anger around the way it went down, and I just want her to own up to the fact that she did it in a crappy way. Like, I just wish at the end of the day that she could have said, come to my face and say, hey, I'm gunning for your job, I don't think you're good at it, and I want to do it because I think I could do it better. That's all I really want her to say, because at least I assume that's how she feels, but how would I know if I haven't asked her? I just think that at the end of the day, I just have to have some real hard conversations with her that I don't want to have, because they're going to suck, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that work.
So,
sorry.
my wonderment is, how do you, so you are pissed off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. But somehow that gets translated into your questions of competence or worthiness or anything like that. I mean, I hear you kind of being in two places with this. One, you're really pissed off at Angela and probably Jim for allowing this to happen. But two, it turns back inward and say, well, maybe I wasn't very good at this. And so when everything is changed, it seems to reinforce this piece of it. Is that accurate?
Yeah. And I think it's that, like, need to be seen thing as well. Like, I was good at my job. Like, I am good at children's ministry. I just was functioning in a children's ministry inside of a system that I had no control over. So in order to make it be successful, I couldn't do that on my own. And I, like, can acknowledge that. But then I fear that in switching to Angela, that it's going to be seen towards others that I wasn't good at my job. And that it's, like, undermining in a certain way. Even though that's not the way it's being communicated at all.
It's not being communicated, is it?
No, it is kind of being communicated. Not well to the kids, but the parents know it's coming. Yeah, and it is difficult because it's weird. It's like when everybody knows that you're telling a lie to their face, but I have to, like, say the lie. Like, it is crappy to know that I'm angry about it and I'm mad about the way that it went down, but then to have to stand in front of the congregation and say, it's fine, everything's great, this was what we wanted, everyone is happy, no, this wasn't behind anyone's back, because those questions have been asked and I've just had to lie.
Is there anyone who it's safe to say that with in your setting?
There's only one person that knows, and yeah, I mean, I can say it to her, but it feels like it puts her in a triangle. And
because, I mean, you said you have an SPRC liaison, right?
I used to. The SPRC knows what happened, I think, but, and you know what would be the benefit of me even saying that to them? At this point, it's a done deed, and I don't want the children, like, on the one hand, I am okay, it makes sense the way they realigned it makes sense. What's keep holding me back is just the crap that I have between Angela and I that I don't want to deal with. I think at the end of the day, like, I don't want to do the hard work with her, because as much as people think of me as emotional and fragile, I think of her as a brick wall and unable to, does that make sense? Like, it's like, why even do the work with somebody who's not going to do the work?
So what would happen to your feelings and your reactions if a year out after this takes place, you're super successful in your new job, but so is Angela?
I would say, well, looks like Jim and Angela had a really good idea. I mean, I would hope that, I don't know, I've thought about that too. Like, what does it look like? Or what does it look like if I flounder and she succeeds? How am I going to feel then? That would suck so much. I would be so disappointed and so self-conscious and questioning probably like a lot of my call, which is crazy that somebody else could do that, but or I could allow someone else to do that. Man, I mean, I would love for both of us to be succeeding. I would love for her to have success. And I think she's going to be good at organizing the children's ministry. But I don't know.
Are you feeling like you're going to be a success in your new job?
Maybe.
What do you think that would prevent you from being a success in it?
I don't know what I'm not. It's like 3 years into ministry, and what have I been good at? I've changed jobs so many times. I've had 4 different jobs. I've lived in like 3 different places. There's nothing in my track record that would say that I'm going to be good at this. I haven't done this before. This isn't what seminary trains us for. I'm just terrified I'm going to continue to suck. So the only thing I'm good at doing is just, I don't know,
I think, hearing what you said, I don't think that you suck at your job. And that's not even just coming from this conversation.
I don't know, I'm like, I know what I'm good at. I'm good at caring for people, and listening, and being present to people, but I feel like, I feel scared about this new job. I feel scared I'm going to fail. I feel scared I just feel scared about it. It's brand new. It's not anything I've really done before. Like I said, it's not anything seminary prepares us for. I just feel like while there's a really great room for success, there's really a lot of room for failure too. And I am afraid that, like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm going to be found out or something. Like, I'm not actually cut out for ministry. Like, I'm not actually good at this. And, like, because I've changed jobs so many times, I haven't had the chance for anybody to find me out. And so, yeah, I'm just scared that...
Do you feel like you have a negative narrative in your mind? Like, is that a recent thing?
No, I think it's like a life thing for me. No, yeah, I've always been really hard on myself.
Do you think the thought, or that thought that you're not good at your job is an uncommon one?
No, I think other people feel that way too. Oh, you mean like about me, or that like other people?
No, what exactly how you're answering it?
I think everyone thinks at some point that they're not good at their job. I mean, you both have said said it in here that you don't feel good at your job some days. So I think it's a. Oh, sorry, camera. I just blocked all of us. I was trying to. I think it's a common thing for people to feel that way. I think it's kind of normal that it's 2 weeks out to the new job and I'm freaking out about it. I know in my own life that anytime change occurs, my anxiety spikes. I've never been good with change. It's always an anxiety-inducing time in my life, and yeah, I just...
So what do you need to lower that anxiety?
To go on vacation. I do think I need time away from our people, which will be good because I get that next week. And I know sometimes it just has to start, that like sometimes my anxiety is just waiting for it to start, and just the anxiety leading up to the new stuff. So I think there's that. And I did the whole like, okay, plan ahead, do what Jim said to do thing. So, and I felt happy with that. I think right now it's, it's here, right? Like Angela today is like redoing the Sunday school classrooms at work with her youth group. And so it's like really in my face that like, as exciting as it was that yesterday was my last Sunday with the kids, it's like officially done and things are changing and now it's sink or swim.
So it's no longer in the future, it's
like here with Christmas and vacation in between, but it's here. And yeah, I did not know I was feeling all those emotions. Here I was thinking I was just going to give the second thing. Anyways.
Well, it sounded like at the beginning when this transition was proposed and you were proposed for this brand new ministry that you were kind of excited about it.
Yeah, I still am excited about it.
Okay.
As much as I feel doubt about myself, and I feel doubt about my ability, my technical competency, and my ability to make a ministry function, I know that I'm good at caring for people, which is congregational care. I really like fellowship, like getting to talk with people. I don't know if I'm great at like executing that, but also at the same time, I don't know why I would say that, because yesterday we had a super successful fellowship event. I think that it's easy to hear all the critical voices and to forget like the stuff that we do that's good.
And I think Carl's observation is that at some level, all of us get affected by that.
Yeah.
The negative voices somehow get amplified, and the ones that say, like what you're doing, oh, okay.
I've never spent a week thinking about a positive email.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you get messages from others that say you have to bend over backwards
to
please that negative voice.
Yeah.
Which is, we're already hearing that very loudly.
Mm-hmm.
Then to have somebody that supervises us say, yeah, you got to hear it even louder now.
Yeah.
I think the observation is that at some level, all of us get affected by negative feedback, negative voices, and sometimes those voices are in our own heads.
Yeah.
I'm going to be found out, or I'm just not good enough, or I don't measure up. Which actually made this position for me so perfect because I was the first chaplain. So there was no body of evidence.
If I look at it that way, this position is brand new too, right? I'm going to be the best one they've ever had.
That's right.
I'm the only one they've ever had, so how are they supposed to know? And there's a lot of like the new way that they've set up the church council, which is exciting. We were able to do that, but like they said, every like quarter we're gonna bring in each of the ministry teams, and you're gonna be required to present like how you're actually achieving your goals and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just like, oh my god. It sounds terrifying. And they'll say, like, Jim was like, it's not meant to be, you know, I don't say to him, oh, that sounds terrifying, but, like, in my head I'm thinking that, and he's like, and it's not meant to be scary, like, this is just to hold us accountable for stuff, and I'm like, okay.
Why is there one desk lamp? I don't understand.
Huh?
Why is there just one desk lamp? I don't understand.
Yeah. But, and I think it will be good, but I don't know. It's just, it's hard. I definitely think I need to have hard conversations with Angela, or just to be open with her. I'm just striving to be, I think that's what I'm going to strive to do, is just be more open with her about what I'm thinking, what questions I have, what I'm feeling, because as much as I think she thinks I'm so fragile and can't come to me, I do think she's like a brick wall and I can't come to her, and she's wrong about me, so that means I'm probably wrong about her. And so, just ask her, like, what's going on.
So maybe start off a conversation by, you know, what you were saying in supervision, owning how you feel.
Yeah.
And say, you know, I'm surprisingly really feeling some grief about letting go of the ministry that I really liked doing. I know that you're doing it, and if I'm crabby with you, that's the main reason.
Yeah.
That I, you know, but it's not to say I don't
Think that you'll do well.
Think you'll do well or anything like that. It's just I'm feeling a particular loss.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful. And even, I really do think it would be helpful for me to know what's going on, because I really have just been hearing, like, whisperings, which just ticks me off. But how was she, I never asked her to disclose to me what she was doing, so how is she supposed to know?
Right.
But whisperings suck. They never make anybody happy.
Right.
So, just disclosing, like, hey, man, let me know what's going on.
So I think being clear about how you feel, not necessarily to place her on the defensive or
Right.
wanting her to change or anything like that would be counterproductive. But,
Yeah.
But just say, you know, yeah, I'm feeling sad.
Yeah.
It's surprised me more than I thought I was.
It really did. I thought I was going to be like, fine. I don't know why I thought that. Like, do I not know who I am? Like,
all right, we're 5 minutes over, so I wanted to thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm 5 minutes late to a meeting, so.
Are you really? Oh, okay.
With me.
With you.
Funny if you just ran over
I'm
there and
gonna-
were like, oh, you're late. I never got a chance to mention it. Your sermon a couple, maybe months ago now, about people who are right at 9 o'clock when they